Good morning, dear students. Today I am going to teach you the sixth chapter of Footprints Without Feet, that is, the making of a scientist, which is written by Robert W. Peterson. Here on the screen, you can see the picture of Richard Albright. This chapter is about this great scientist. About the author. Robert W. Peterson, he was born in United States in 1925 and he died on 11th February 2006 in Salisbury, Pennsylvania, United States. He did his education from Uppsala College. Introduction of the chapter. The Making of a Scientist is the story of a scientist named Richard H. Albright. It is an interesting study of how Albright became a scientist, how his curiosity and a will to win for the right reasons made him successful. So, before starting the chapter, just have a look at the introduction about Richard Albright, which is given in the book. Richard Albright has received the Searles Scholar Award, which is given to the young scholars, young researchers, and the Skering Plough Award for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. It was his fascination for butterflies that opened the world of science to him. Now we will continue with the chapter. The Making of a Scientist is a story about the leading scientist Richard Albright. He was curious child from the beginning years of his life. In the beginning of his years, he studied in Pennsylvania and he was the only child there in that area, so he had nobody to play with him. So he developed curiosity for collecting the things. He had started collecting butterflies in his childhood, and by the time he is in second grade, he had already gathered all the 25 species found in his hometown. That all the 25 kinds, different species of butterflies which were there in his hometown, he has collected all those butterflies. Also, he collected coins, fossils, and rocks. So, apart from collecting butterflies, he had hobbies of collecting coins, fossils, and rocks. Gazing at stars and collecting butterflies were his hobbies. His mother, his only companion during childhood, because his father already left him when he was very young, so his mother was the only one. And I told you earlier, he had no companion, no children to play with. So his mother was the only companion during his childhood. She helped in further deepening his curiosity. Whatever curiosity he had, his mother, he helped him out in developing or deepening those curiosity by taking him on trips and giving him telescope and other equipments like cameras, etc. One day, his mother gave him a book named The Travel of Monarch X. This book has been a turning point of his life and introduced him to the world of science. So, this book told how monarch butterflies migrate to Central America. And this book, because of this book, he came in contact with the scientist Dr. Urquhart, because at the end of the book, readers were invited to help butterflies migration. They were asked to tag butterflies for research by Dr. Frederick A. Urquhart of the University of Toronto, Canada. Ebright began his journey by collecting butterflies. After that, he worked on tagging the monarch butterfly so that the scientist community could be benefited. He did it for many years and raised thousands of butterflies. He experienced the real science in County Science Fair, where he lost. His entry was slides of frog tissues which he showed under microscope. But he understood that to win something, he needs to do something extraordinary. That means mere display will not work. He has to show some real experiments. There he learned that. That time he was just in 7th grade. Later, for his 8th grade, he selected the assignment of finding the cause of viral sickness that killed almost all the monarch caterpillars every year. He thought that the cause for this could be a beetle, so he rose caterpillars with the presence of beetles. However, he was wrong because it was no use. It proved wrong. But when he showed that he had tried for the experiment, he won. He won means he was given the prize for that. Next year, his project for science fair was testing the theory that viceroy butterflies copy monarchs. His project got the first prize in zoology division and third in county science fair. The theory which he put forward was that viceroy butterflies look like monarchs because monarchs do not taste good to the birds and birds like to eat viceroys. So, viceroy's butterfly they used to copy monarch butterflies. So, the more the viceroy looked like the monarch, the less likely it is that viceroy would be eaten by a bird. So simple theory was viceroy butterflies they copy the monarchs because they don't want to be eaten by the birds because the birds prefer viceroys not the monarchs. He wanted to show in his project that would bird eat monarchs or not. He found out that the sterling bird would prefer eating a monarch. Later research showed that the viceroys copied the monarchs. In his second year of high school, Richard Ebright led to his discovery of an unknown insect hormone which led to his new theory on the lives of cells. He tried to find the purpose of tiny golden spots on the back of monarch pupa. This project won first place in county science fair and a chance to work in Walter Reed Army Institute of Research. See, Walter Reed Army Institute of Research, it is the largest biomedical research facility which is administered by the US Department of Defense. So it was a great honor to work there. As a high school student, he continued his advanced experiment and finally was able to identify hormones' chemical structure. One day, while looking at the X ray photos of the hormone, he got the idea of his new theory that tells cells can read the blueprints of its DNA. Ebright and his roommate constructed the plastic model of a molecule to illustrate the working of DNA. It was a big leap forward and got published in a magazine. He graduated from Harvard with the highest honor. So he was the first, that time he was just 22 years old, and he was the first student whose research was published in a journal or in a magazine. He then became a graduate student researcher at the Harvard University and also started doing practical experiments to test his theory. It was expected that if the theory proved to be correct, then it would be a big step towards understanding the complex system of life and also would lead to new ideas for preventing certain types of cancer and other diseases. So, this showed how his research on the monarch pupa led him to a theory about cell life. That is how his curiosity led him to discover this. He was he was not only a scientist, not only was good at studies, but he was a champion debater, a great public speaker, and a good boat racer. He was also an all round outdoor sports person along with being an expert photographer. So, a big lesson for the ones who are bookworms. So, besides good at studies, besides being bookworm, please try to engage yourself in physical activities also. He also used to admire his social studies teacher and an advisor to both clubs. His name was Mr. Richard A. Y. Harrer. Ebright thought that his teacher was the right man as he was the one who used to open his mind to new ideas. And his social science teacher was also very much impressed with Ebright because he really liked the idea that he used to give extra 3 to 4 hours of effort at night for the debate research apart from the time that he used to give to his butterfly research and his other interests. So his teacher really liked this idea. Richard was competitive but not in a bad sense. This statement was given by his social science teacher. He said he used to compete but not in a bad sense because he never compete to win to get the prize or just for the sake of winning, but because he wanted to be the best at whatever he did. So in good sense he was competitive. He does not have any jealousy against other. He never tried to let down anybody. His only sole motive was he wanted to prove himself the best in whatever the thing he used to do. He had all the qualities that made him true scientist. He had curiosity. Very well, we have seen that how his curiosity led him to discover the things. A first rate mind, a very brilliant mind, and the will to win for the right reasons. And he has the will to win. See, many a times he went into the fair in the competitions, he failed, but he learned from those competitions, and again he worked hard, and again he participated, and he emerged as a winner. That was his will. उसकी चाहत थी कि वो हमेशा जीते, and for the right reason. He never wanted to let anybody down. So, a big lesson for you all to learn from it. Compete with yourself only. If suppose you have got 85%, so now compete with yourself. Why 85%? Next time I will work hard and try to get more than 90. So try to compete with yourself, and definitely it will bring a great change. I can bet on that. With this, we come to the end of the chapter. Now, please, once again, I would like to tell you this is just a summary. Please go through the chapter properly, thoroughly. If you are unable to understand anything, feel free to ask me. Till then, take care. Have a great day. Bye bye.